Hello everyone, welcome back to Slay the Princess. Last time we decided to free the princess and we looked into a mirror before doing so. And then in chapter 2, the princess was a manic pixie who just wanted to do whatever we wanted because she was so in love with us. And then the world ended and we met a being, an extra dimensional being who is coming into being, a baby, becoming something. Anyway, and they told us to continue to give her experiences. And so that is sort of a license to say, yeah, you can do whatever you want in the game, do everything in the game, and you will be creating me in doing so. Okay, let's load the game before it gets too creepy. Alright. So now we're gonna go back.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
We're gonna be hearing this text a lot. So we're being told to go and slay the princess or else the world will end. Now I've started writing down the choices I've made so that later on in the game, once it starts becoming hard to find new things to do, I'll have a list that will help me to remember.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Alright, so we've looked through all this, and I am loading game each time. I'm loading my save each time. I don't know if that makes a difference. I don't know if choosing new game would also be fine. We've gone through all these things, and might as well just go toward the cabin.
You
What
make
do we
your
want to
way
do
up
this
the
time?
short path to the cabin.
So we have gone down without the knife, we have gone down with the knife. We have...
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale. The blade.
Yeah. So we can either... So I was thinking that anything with explore might not affect the story. It looks like that is false. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try taking the blade and then freeing the princess. That's a combination we haven't tried yet.
You take the blade from the table.
One of these days, I am going to actually slay the princess, but we have not reached that day yet. So we've kind of got the idea that
carries up the stairs.
We've kind of got the idea that these worlds are like sort of like only partially real worlds. And there's some kind of meta multiverse outside the worlds thing going on.
Who's there?
That is definitely a different voice because I have the knife. So what's happening, what I believe is happening, is that based on the actions we do, the scene, the princess, and everything changes based on what we expect is going to happen. And that is fascinating, especially for a horror game.
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it...
I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs.
What's up?
And lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Yeah, that's new text. What? No way. Why would you even think that?
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
Maybe I'm here to free you.
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her.
I'm not gonna drop it this time.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You're not scared of me, it seems.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
That is such a weird phrasing. It's the kind of thing you would expect if this is some kind of intelligence inside this princess figure who isn't actually a princess and doesn't have a backstory.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
So I could drop the blade. I have another chance to do it. I wonder if this would get us to a different ending than the first one, or if it's just multiple choices that you have to get through in order to get the same ending. What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us?
You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
That's sort of a reinforcement of the idea that this world is shaped around our expectation.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
I'm not dropping it.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Squint at the princess while holding onto the blade. I think we could bait her into attacking us by doing this kind of thing. Fine then, I guess we're at an impasse.
I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
Are you sure you don't want to talk?
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
Oh, I can't do the squinty thing anymore. Okay, fine.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
Yeah, I remember it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, we said that before. I'm here. I think I've said all these things before. Okay, well, I don't really have anything. I kind of have to. Okay, well, I kind of have to click on some of these things.
Do you?
I can lie and say no.
I see. The silent treatment. You know, if you don't share with me, well, I'm not going to share with you.
Okay, so go through a few things. How would I get you out of
You
here?
can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
So I think the voice is different this time. Okay, we talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I'm getting you out of here.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
So I could check upstairs. I think that's what I said last time. If there is a key, do you have any ideas besides cutting you out of here?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
So we know that we can't get out.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam.
Yep.
They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yeah, there is a knife though, right?
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
Alright, we're gonna do that this
You
time.
won't like what happens if you do that.
Maybe I will, you don't know. We save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding...
Wait, we've seen this before. Didn't we try... Because I think last time she started biting her arm off, and then we were like, no. If we're going to be that way, let's use the knife.
Into her flesh. The blade is sharp, but she didn't so much. Free
I
from
don't
her
like that.
bindings, the princess turns to face you.
It is
Her
different
fierce
art.
gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Let's do it.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair... Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do... Watch
Hit
me.
this again. And we can
Stop
not
that.
slay.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way. Stop it! Stop resisting me!
And we can resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
And she
You're
is
doing your best to help
not
me, aren't
going
you?
to
I can see the
apologize
conflict
this
in your
time.
eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
Yeah, that's different this time. Because we brought the blade down, she was a different person.
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Alright, back to chapter 2. So, I think that this is going to be
You're
different
on a
this
path
time.
You're here to slay her.
If I don't, it'll be the end of the world. Alright, so I think what happened in the first time around is that the world just ended because I didn't go to the cabin. So I'll probably have to redo that route and head up. Is there anything that I haven't said? Oh, you bastard, you're in it for now. I'm wise to your tricks. You're in for it now.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around.
Voice of the
I
skeptic.
wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Alright, so that text is the same each time.
You know I can hear you two, right? And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Yeah, that's gonna be the... What? No, there's the skeptic is here.
Those are two very different... You died. The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? That doesn't sound like the sort... But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason.
Okay, so some of this text
Did you
is
try and
different
free
for
her?
different routes.
Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point? What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. Yes, but in this pure... If it's the latter, what do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
I'm not convinced there are other people in this world. Well, maybe if I believe there are, then there will be.
What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts.
Let's talk
Just
about
be
the
quick
princess.
about it.
The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her, and all she did was slit my throat. How is she supposed to end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but
Yeah, that's the
you haven't
same.
given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything.
My thoughts exactly.
Fine. Check your pockets.
Ooh?
You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth."
Yes, definite evidence. I love it.
That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
Yeah, last time we looked into the mirror at the end and discovered that we're some kind of angel of death or something.
You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get.
Alright. That's all
Great.
then.
Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Alright, let's go.
A warning before you go any further.
Huh? Is this new?
She will lie. She
No.
will. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Eh.
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
I love these fourth characters.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison.
No, actually, now that I'm seeing this mirror again, I'm wondering if our own appearance can change depending on what we do. Also, I'm noticing that this is definitely a prison this time and not a palace.
The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Alright, let's take the blade. You didn't say anything about the mirror.
He definitely did not. Does a mirror not count as furniture of note to you? Because it should. There isn't a mirror. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I think you know what we have to do.
I want to test something and not look at the mirror this time. Actually, let's look at the mirror this time and see if anything is different. And then if nothing is different, then we can avoid looking at it next time.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
You touch
You
the wall.
reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
So yeah, the last time there was a tapestry here, and it kind of still looked like a mirror, so I wasn't quite sure what was happening, but it's definitely more clear now.
But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Whole cabin's different from last time.
Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
Alright, let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table.
We're going to continue doing the
It will be
same
difficult
thing
to
that
slay the
we
princess and
did
save
at the
world
beginning.
without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss. Her voice, harsh but controlled.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
That's a good question.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you.
That's a lot of heavy
collar
chains.
around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
Okay, I don't think we'll be cutting her out of this one.
So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table.
Oh, that's great, because this narrator hasn't been with us. It wasn't there last
You
time.
noticed the empty chain on the wall. Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously
Oh,
useless.
I love that. I love this text. I love this bit of dialogue.
That was there last time too, wasn't it?
Was it?
It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Yes, let's. I could just leave her. I could sit with her. Oh man, we're gonna have to do this route again for the different
You
choices.
step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
Also, look how huge that chain is. You think you're just gonna casually raise your hand like that if it's got a chain that thick attached to it? That's gotta be so heavy.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Let's sit a little bit. Oh, I wanna. Let's just sit here.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Man, I'm thinking. I hate this. I'm thinking in terms of what should I do with choices in the game, and because I'm thinking that way, I'm not immersed in the story.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
My intentions? What do you mean? I mean, it's a pretty clear question. I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers? What happened after I died last time? The other chain on the wall, who's it for? Me, probably. Am I the only one who remembers being here before?
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
Ah.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true.
So I wonder if there's like something we could do if we don't reveal it to the narrator.
As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what?
We're getting more info.
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else. I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
Now hold on, if you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles.
I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle.
The question is, does the narrator actually remember the previous time? Or is the narrator the only one who doesn't remember?
And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
Okay, so I don't think the narrator remembers.
That's
the
pathetic.
narrator does know.
I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much.
Yeah, so if my theory about the world shaping itself to our expectations is correct, then yeah, us knowing that could probably be quite dangerous.
Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
Oh yeah, she can't hear the rest of our voices. Okay? You're asking about my intentions. What did you mean by that?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
Are you gonna surgically remove your head?
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
What happened after I died? How am I supposed to cut you out? That other chain on the wall. Let's do that one. That other chain on the wall, who's it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
I think not. Is that gonna be an
Maybe
option?
effect.
Oh my god, that face is creepy.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. I need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
What happened after I died?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them.
Alright, so that world ended.
And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
How am I supposed to cut you out if you didn't notice your head's in a shackle?
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
Are you gonna cut both your arms out of it? How are you gonna do that? Because you gotta like you kind of need one of your arms to cut the other one out. Just saying.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
This game does such a good job at predicting what the player is going to think and feel. In case you forgot and you killed me with it last time, I can cut you out of here. I'm not giving you a weapon. You know what? I am tempted to put myself in the chains. Should we do the chains ending? Let's do the chains ending.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Let's inspect it.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
So you've got a script, don't you?
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
I wondered if something like that was going to happen.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Are we stuck here now?
Yes.
Got an achievement for that.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
No, don't worry, the world's about to end.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Ah, yeah. So why was there a chain here to capture us? Did you know that this was going to happen?
No.
Great dialogue. So we're both stuck here.
Yep.
Not one for small talk, are you?
Nope.
That's rude.
It's going to be a long time. What should we do?
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent.
At least the world is safe.
It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
Your line. Let me guess.
Oops.
The cabin remains the same.
What's the options down here? Prefs, that's options. Can we see previous dialogue? Oh, we missed the stuff.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
Oh, are we looking for differences?
Suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
So we're both some kind of supernatural beings who can survive for very long periods of time. Have you noticed the basement changing? I haven't noticed anything. There's still the knife, there's still the far wall, the door, the chains, the princess.
I don't like small talk, remember?
What else are you gonna do?
Still rude.
I wonder if there are changes that we can see. I don't see any. I wonder if maybe like we could compare now to the first moment that we saw and see if there's anything that we can notice. Because that's the thing about perception, is if things change very slowly, you won't really notice, especially because like things can change, like an entire background can cycle through the colors of the rainbow over a long enough period of time and you won't notice. That's just how we are. Ah, the
You
bricks.
continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
Alright, let's see if it gets to
That
our
doesn't make
chains.
sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass.
Yeah, it is kind of concerning if dirt is just filling the basement. Although, I guess we could just sit on top of it because it's slow enough, and the ceiling is bound to cave in eventually.
Until suddenly, there are no walls. And then...
Oh, narrator's going away.
And?
I think he's gone.
Oh, world's about to end.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
Awesome. Best end.
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Oops. Dang it, accidental right clicks. Alright, this version of the princess is now absorbed. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again.
Alright. Wait, is this new? It is new, so it does remember that I've been to the mirror. It's going to be okay, just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice. It's the end for you, but not for me. I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you.
Feels too good.
Alright. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone again. The mirror always makes them leave. But you need to see what's in it. A new achievement? You've grown. Am I the entity? Also, I don't feel like this is bigger. It looks the same to me. I'd have to compare it. But apparently I'm bigger. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You're at the cabin.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Are you the same being as you were before? How much has changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
What's it feel like to change? Probably the way it feels like for a human to change over the years. When this is all done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed, but in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Alright, cool. I'm not going to say this one. You know, at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you. No. I have not decided that. I suppose that maybe we'll get ending. I wonder if we'll get multiple endings at the very end that are, do we choose to slay this princess or let this princess live? When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things that I've done before? Wait, I can't? Oh, that's new.
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Oh, that makes sense. I wonder if this is what we get from looking at the mirror. I wonder if we couldn't have even spoken to her if we didn't look at the mirror. Also, this is saying that I don't have to write down the choices I make because these paths are closed and I can't accidentally do it again. That's nice. You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. I mean, the hero's been kind of kind. Skeptic hasn't been too bad. Except, he did lead us into chaining ourselves up, I guess. Wait. Okay, thank you and why? What do you want me to bring you next time? I'll just figure that out for myself. Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be. I'm not afraid of this entity. She seems nice. She seems like something that we can create. If it weren't a set path for the game, she would feel like someone that we could create through our own intentions. And that's something not to be scared of, because we're in control of our own intention. What do you feel about me? These vessels I've been bringing you, I've hurt them.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
Okay. There are some options. Attack the entity, destroy my body. Oh, I don't want to do those things yet. How many more vessels do I need? She'll just probably say many, right?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond.
Yeah, that's a lot.
My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
Alright, so these options are getting me, making things challenging for me, because I'm like, how many routes and endings? And it's like, so multiple routes in a row make one of these routes, but then we could take these large routes in multiple directions. So I'm like, wow. I'm not gonna attack her. I'm not gonna destroy myself. I want to see what this storyline takes us. I'm gonna go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am.
We might have to do Voice of the Paranoid again because we didn't get a scene like this with it.
We will meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. All right, that was
You're
this
on
episode.
A path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I am excited to continue to see what secrets and mysteries this game has to offer. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Slay the Princess and other awesome games. I'll see you next time. Bye!